Greetings. I'm Dead Palette, professional mixologist, professional liar, and amateur voyeur. Before I start crafting these cocktails, I should explain the difference between a bartender and a mixologist. A mixologist is a uniquely first-world phenomenon. A mixologist is an overeducated constructor of drinks. A mixologist is smarter than you, calmer than you, and doesn't bother with high volumes of customers. A bartender is in the business of hospitality. I would be a bartender as well as a mixologist if I could possibly bring myself to care about you. Alas, I cannot. I can't even bother myself to lie about caring about you. So now that we've cleared up your place, I'm going to use my adeptness and inventiveness to make 3 cocktails for my amusement. I'm not going to drink them, and you can't either, but you can watch if you must, as each comes with a different kind of creepy story. I'll be using Jägermeister spice, cinnamon, and vanilla herbal liqueur as the base of my cocktails today, along with the doubts of man, repressed memories compressed by the passage of time and recallable fact, as well as ice and various bar tools. The sorrows of then were being settled in the crispness of the elements, the old-fashioned way.
When I was school-aged, maybe 8 or 9, my older sister Dasha started taking on some strange behaviors. She developed a sort of twitching, occasionally snapping her head around to see what's behind her, like she heard the buzzing of a large bumblebee. An avid skirt wearer, she tightly ringed together the bottom of her skirts, which I don't think she knew drew attention to her, and she'd lock herself in her room for long periods of time. What's stranger is she'd do the same in the bathroom. My mind was curious, and when I brought these issues to my parents, they tried to dodge the issue, then caved and explained the birds and the bees and the flow and whatnot. However, with the details I had, it didn't account for the oddness of her paranoia and isolation. One day there was a barbecue with a spit roast, as my extended family has an affinity for genuine barbecue. Everyone was out on the back porch, and so I explored my sister's room. A putrid, almost skunk-like smell was coming from her closet, but I heard the back door slide open, and afraid of being caught, I hightailed it from my room. Looking outside from my room, I saw Dash's eyes fixated on the spit roasting chickens and rabbits. My sister was supposed to be babysitting me one day, but she was holed up in the upstairs bathroom. I was playing with my neighbor downstairs when Dasha said she needed to run an errand. She seemed in a hurry. Long story short, when I tried to use the bathroom, it had a bleach container in front of it, which is what my mom did to tell us that the toilet was being cleaned. I decided to piss in the bathtub until I saw all the bloody water in it.
For this cocktail, the tumbler, that is, the glass, not the toxic website, should be filled with ice. Again, the tumbler should be filled with ice, not tumbler. This is a bill drink, like a rusty nail, but there's no Drambuie or Scotch whiskey in sight. We'll start off with Jägermeister Spice. This was once a seasonal beverage that the Jägermeister company put out around the holidays. It's not as classic as the standard liqueur, but it has its charms, and it's no longer seasonal. It's available year-round. Now it's important that I leave a little bit of room at the top of the glass as I add in dry vanilla bean soda. Dry because it's as refreshing as knowing that the evidence of the murder is evaporating. Well then, let's put some sweet, sweet blood into the water and soap. Here, I'll add a small float of grenadine. If the last sip of this drink is too sweet, then you'll know what it's like when the bio-gunk won't go down the surprisingly small draining pipe. The frustration, confusion, and stress of the rusty bath. School was back in session for the little ones, and we had a Tom Collins sort of affair. She was Purgatory in a pinstripe suit, Grim Widow's hat, Hokotor boots, a young alabaster face pointing points of moot to foolish flocks of men losing loads of loot. Approximate proxies set me in the setting of this low-life man and this crazy broad's wedding. This hate begetting got me drowning in drinks. I was knowingly inebriated, not willing to think. I was dazed and dizzy, duped with deceit into the all-leather interior of a Shelby seat. This kind of mistake isn't easily repeated. I'm the kind of naive boy this older woman needed. I gently inquired about the situation. She replied with crude riddles and a fierce determination. She washed out her diction with a fine black coffee, replacing it instead with a smirk so haughty. I licked liquor quicker than I ever had before, so I tripped and complied when she opened up the door. She accompanied me to passageways furthermore, veranda, a hotel for the classiest of whores. The black carpet led to room 404. The mirrors in the elevator made me throw up on the floor. The clicking of the key cooked me to the core. She casually walked in and sauntered to the drawers. The fireplace crackled as she fiddled with the glasses, as my mind was confined by control of the masses. Bureaucratic reprimands, arbitrary tongue lashes, the way my weight weighs and society clashes, the way affinities and premonitions mashes, the way she poisons me to become a servant fascist. This I realized, for we're two different classes. So I poked her with the fire stoker. Ashes to ashes. I'll start by adding 2.5 ounces of Jägermeister spice to the ice as the base. Next, 2 full ounces of Dr. McGillicuddy's intense raw vanilla liqueur to support the vanilla aspects of the Jägermeister spice. This spirit is honest, saccharine, and obvious, but we won't hold that against it. This will act as the sweetening agent. If you were to make this, you could simply add simple syrup for more sweetness, but hey, it's okay. Rookies make mistakes. Now I'll be adding the cold brew coffee. 5.5 ounces should be enough, but one can never know for sure. And remember, it's not good coffee if it doesn't cost $31.50. Now I'll shake vigorously for as long as I see fit, longer than required. Then I'll pour into a Tom Collins. She doesn't need ice, she's cold enough as is. But be sure that she stays that way. So one simply must garnish with cinnamon. She's a whole host of confusing and conflicting feelings to me, but to you, she's the pinstripe pretender. She closed the blinds and unzipped the back of her dress, cocktail glass still in hand.
January 24th, 2009, in Wolfenbüttel, Germany, a man was found dead along the Oker River, cut from head to toe and wrapped in a black rug. This was the first in a series of serial murders committed against men in Wolfenbüttel over the span of 3 years. The murders ceased in late 2012. The last one seemingly connected to the others was on January 22nd, according to an autopsy of the victim. In total, 16 males were found near the Oker River before then becoming 17, many of them not Wolfenbüttel natives. While not conclusive, many suspect posthumously that one Dasha Hayes was the culprit behind this series of murders, as her death was in a room at the hotel that sits on the Oker River and the murders ended around the time of her demise. Miss Hayes was a wealthy widower, aged 34 at the time of her death. She was found stabbed through by a fire stoker in the hotel room she had rented. In her purse were 3 small vials of Rohypnol, the date rape drug, and 1 empty vial.
If you don't chill your cocktail or martini glass, it's like peeing while sitting down as a man. Those things just don't go together. Add 1.5 ounce of Jägermeister spice and the same of the standard Jägermeister to a shaker. Then add ice afterwards. Proceed to shake. Pitch the cocktail ice into the river and add a small amount of Red Bull to your glass. Then strain the respective Jägermeisters into the glass and top with Red Bull. This drink is for those in society who shake off the dangerous hunters. Those who are honest, yet still effervescent. This is one drink I can relate to. The Stag Dropper. I should mention, I've only ever thrown up once while drinking, and no, I don't regret it. That aside, enjoy responsibly. Or not, I don't really care. But always stay classy and don't blame me when you ruin your life.